See dear students, see last time we started lesson number 5. We talked about the magnetic field of a bar magnet. Then we established the relation between magnetic field of a bar magnet and a solenoid. We derived equation for magnetic field at any point on the axis of a magnetic dipole moment and equator of a magnetic dipole moment. Also we derived the equation of torque acting on a magnetic dipole placed in a uniform magnetic field. Okay, now today we start with the electrical analog. See, the word analogy means comparison. See, in our lesson number 1 we talked about electric field. Here we are going to study about magnetic field. Now see, the electric field is denoted as E, magnetic field is B. Both are vector quantity that we should keep in mind. Now we talked of electrical dipole moment. See, plus charge and a minus charge separated by 2a distance. Here P is the pole strength. See, the distance between two poles of a magnet is 2L. See, the dipole moment P is equal to 2A into Q. Here also magnetic dipole moment 2L into P. See, the direction of electric dipole moment was from negative to positive. Okay, and here is from S to N. Okay, now this is about the electric dipole moment. Then see, on axis of a magnetic axis of electric field, we derive the equation CE is equal to 2kP upon RQ. Okay, right now we talk of only the magnitude part. Okay, or E is equal to 2kP upon RQ. Similarly, on the axis of magnetic dipole, B is equal to mu 0 upon 4 pi 2m upon R. Okay. Okay. Now see, dipole moment is 2A into Q. Here magnetic dipole moment is 2L into P. See, at any point on the axis of the dipole, electric dipole, see, the electric field is 2kP upon RQ. Here on the axis of a magnetic dipole, it is B is equal to mu 0 upon 4 pi 2m upon RQ. See, on equator, see, the electric field is minus kP upon RQ, or okay. Now here also on the equator of a magnetic dipole moment, magnetic dipole or bar magnet, it is B is equal to mu 0 upon 4 pi minus m upon R2, or simply the magnitude is mu 0 upon 4 pi m. Now in the first lesson we derived equation for torque acting on a electric dipole placed in a magnetic electric field. The torque was P cross E. The magnitude is PE sin theta. Okay. Now here also we derive the formula torque is equal to M cross B. Now see, the potential energy of electric dipole U is equal to minus P dot E, that is minus PE cos theta. Okay. Here also see, the potential energy of a magnetic dipole is minus M dot B minus MB cos theta. Now see, first lesson electric force F is equal to Q into E. Okay, that is the magnitude of the force is Q into E. Here magnitude of is P into E. Okay, so this is a electrical analog or comparison between electric field and a magnetic field. Okay, on equator it is electric field is Kp upon Rq, whereas on the equator of a bar magnet or a magnetic dipole moment, magnitude is mu0 upon 4 pi m upon r3. See the torque acting on a electric dipole placed in a electric field is P cross E, that is Pe sin theta. Torque is Mb sin theta. See the potential energy is minus Pe cos theta. Potential energy of a magnetic dipole is minus Mb cos theta. And finally, see the electric force F is equal to Q into E, whereas magnetic force is F is equal to P into B. So this is a good comparison of electric field and magnetic field, that is an electrical analog. Now next we have to see the Gauss law for magnetic field. Okay. See this can be asked in a 2 marks question. Right and okay. Now see the Gauss law for the electric field. We saw flux phi is sigma q upon epsilon 0. Okay, that is the equation representing the Gauss law. Now here we have to talk of magnetic field. Okay, see first we write down the statement part. See the question is very small, but first you have to represent it well. Okay, that is a net magnetic flux through any closed surface. Okay, the net magnetic flux through any closed surface. Now here we can understand by a simple method. Then of course we will go by the method of the textbook. Now suppose this is uniform magnetic field. Now if I place any closed surface, okay, if I place any closed surface, what we see here, 2 magnetic field lines are entering in this surface and 2 magnetic field lines are coming out of the surface. So we say in this closed surface no magnetic field resides. Okay, so we can say number of field lines residing in the surface is 0. There is a net magnetic flux through any closed surface is 0. Okay, now here we have to write according to the method of the textbook. Now see, this is a uniform magnetic field. Now we consider any surface. Okay, now consider a small section of delta S. Okay, consider a small section of delta S. See the magnetic field lines. Here we consider a uniform magnetic field. Okay, there is a field lines are parallel and equal. So see, B shows the magnetic field and delta S shows a small element. Okay, now see the flux phi delta B E for this small section. Consider small area delta S. Okay, so see the magnetic flux phi is E dot delta S. Okay, now this is a magnetic flux for this small section. Okay, suppose we have to find out magnetic flux through any closed surface. For obtaining total flux over given surface, we have to take summation. Okay, now see when we take summation, flux phi B sigma all B dash delta S. What is sigma all? see this is we consider a small section. If I were to calculate flux through all surface, okay, then we have to add this. But see the Gauss law, as I told, see here we can see a small line, one line is entering through this small delta S surface, same number of line coming out. So this flux to the total surface, okay, is equal to 0. Okay, flux to the total surface is 0. Okay, now magnetic field is a vector quantity, area vector is also a vector quantity. So the Gauss law says that the magnetic flux through any closed surface is 0. As I told, whatever number of magnetic field lines are entering, same number of magnetic field line will come out of the surface. So that is nothing but Gauss law for the magnetic field. So the net magnetic flux through any closed surface is 0. Okay. Now this is about the Gauss law for the magnetic field. Now see, our next topic is Earth's magnetism. Okay. Now the Earth's magnetic field, as such, see the magnitude is very less. It is of the order of 10⁻⁵ Tesla. See, in our day-to-day life, we do not have that much significance. But see, whenever we have to go for a precise calculation, see, we have to take into account. See, all of you have heard of Sri Harikota. Okay. Now you must be knowing that is a place from, see, the space shuttles, okay, are launched. Now that place also is selected because at that place the Earth's magnetic field is minimum. Okay, so whenever we launch a satellite, okay, such things are to be considered. Okay, more things we can find out. Okay, so that is why we have to study the Earth's magnetic field. Okay, now see, normally our common experience, see, we are familiar with the geographic north and geographic south. Suppose we are new to any city. Nowadays we are in an era of the Google Map, so that comparatively has less significance. Okay, but see, many years back, when there was no GPS system or less communication modes were available, okay, especially in the olden days, this was very much useful. So we are familiar with the geographic north and south. Suppose we move to any new place, okay, as I told, it has less significance in today's context, but earlier it was most important. Okay, you know, you studied earlier in the stories, your storybook, those were moving the steamers or moving from one place to another, they used to keep map, okay, or they used to keep the magnetic compass. Okay, now see, let us say any place we are new. See, we have a map of this. See what has happened what is shown in a map. See, they say north and south, it is mentioned. Okay, see, many times, you know, you may be familiar, you go to buy a flat or a bungalow, or you go to their office, you give you a brochure in which all the details, see, regarding the construction and all that. See, along with that, see, they have got a site map, so that also they have mentioned this N and S like this. So this N and S basically represent the geographic north. Okay, but we know Earth is not revolving like this. Okay, Earth do not rotate like this, but Earth is also tilted. Okay, Earth is also tilted. So suppose I want to represent in terms of a sphere, then it will be more convenient to us. Now, as I told, see, we take a simple example. Let us say this is a plane surface which indicate north and south. This is our geographic north. Okay, so this plane containing this direction is called, let us say, PQRS is a geographic meridian. Okay, see the meridian represents some plane. Now same way here also, Earth. This is our geographic north-south. We represent in terms of a circle. Now this imaginary circle passing through the axis is called the geographic. Okay, geographic. But we know Earth is tilted. So by keeping its axis like this or tilted, it moves like this as a rotational motion. So in that case, okay, see another circle we can consider. See, this is a circle passing through the actual motion of the satellite, or sorry, of the Earth. This surface is called the magnetic meridian. Now see how do we can represent. Now this is any place we are standing. At that place we draw. See, this is our local north and south. But suppose we keep a magnetic compass at this position. Okay, it will show like this. Let us say this P dash and Q dash. Okay. Now see a plane containing these two. R dash. This P dash, Q dash. Is called the magnetic. Same way here, this circle shows the geographic meridian, and this another circle which I mentioned here is a magnetic meridian. So this is our geographic north and south, and this is our magnetic north and south. See, our magnetic poles are like this. Now see the horizontal line. Okay, a circle passing through this horizontal is called geographic equator. Okay, geographic equator. And see a circle passing like this. Okay, is a magnetic meridian. Okay, is a magnetic equator. Sorry. See, this is our, this line. Okay, is a geographic equator, and this is the magnetic equator. Now see, at any place, now this is our local north and south. This is our local north and south. This is how we represent. Now at any place we keep a magnetic needle, it will be inclined. Okay, like this. Okay, now this is our magnetic north and south. Okay, this line, vertical line, is a geographic north south, whereas another line, okay, which is shown by the magnetic compass, is nothing but magnetic north and south. This N dash and S dash, okay, is our magnetic north south. See, the angle between geographic north south and the magnetic north south is called the declination, or it is called magnetic declination. Okay, now see, generally in our exam, see the numbers like this. The Earth is at this much latitude and longitude, so numerical information generally not important, but see the definition part is very important. So these are the two main things. See, the local north and south, we know. See, See, the plane passing through this is called the magnetic meridian. And see the Earth's magnetic field. Why? Because Earth rotate at some angle. So that plane passing through this is called the magnetic meridian. See the angle between the geographic meridian, okay, and magnetic meridian is called magnetic declination. Now, see, we have to talk of magnetic parameters. Now we have to talk the magnetic parameters. Okay. See, mainly we have to study one is a magnetic declination, D or sometimes they phi, okay. Then magnetic deep angle, okay, magnetic deep angle. Now sometimes denoted as I. Third is a horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field, and fourth is a vertical component of okay. See the magnetic declination sometimes denoted as D. Okay. Now see, Earth is a sphere. Now as we talked, see any point the tangent drawn is at the direction of the magnetic field. Now let us say the tangent drawn at any point on the surface of the Earth. Now see here, see the magnetic field of the Earth. B for magnetic field and E for the Earth. See the magnetic field of the Earth has two components. One is the horizontal component, okay. One is the horizontal component, that is HE. Sometimes we write BH also, okay. And the vertical component, okay, that is BV. Okay, see the vertical component BV, or it is ZE. So many of the books, see the HE is nothing but our BH, and ZE, here E is in subscript, there is a vertical component, okay, and the angle is I, okay, I is a magnetic deep angle, okay. Now from this, see we can know about the horizontal component and vertical component of the Earth. See, there is HE or BH is BE. See here I is our magnetic deep angle, okay. So now we studied about component of vector. See the component of vector in any direction is nothing but product of the magnitude of the vector and cosine of the angle. So it will be BE cos I, okay. That represents the horizontal component, and ZE or BB is equal to BE sin phi, okay. See, this is a horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field, that is denoted as HE, or some of the books it is BH, or it is ZE or BB, okay. So now if I take the ratio, tan phi, see BE sin phi upon BE cos phi is ZE upon HE, or it is BV by BH, okay. So tan phi Okay, so this is regarding the horizontal and vertical component of the Earth magnetic field. See, this will be useful to in the calculation or MCQ. Now, next we have to study about the magnetization and magnetic intensity. Okay, now see in the Fourth lesson, we studied about magnetic field of a solenoid or a toroid. Here we have to establish the relation. See, later on we'll discuss the type of magnetic materials. Okay. Now some of things you study in the chemistry also. There is a paramagnetism, diamagnetism and ferromagnetism. So that we are going to study in detail there also. Now here some theory part is related to that we have to study. Now see, in the second lesson when we studied about dielectric, okay, we studied about polarization. Okay, here we have to study magnetization. Okay, now suppose we have a specimen, some magnetic material. Let us say, see a specimen of a magnetic material. Okay, now how do we represent the magnetic property? Okay, how do we represent the magnetic property of such material? That is given as in terms of dipole moment. Here also the magnetic materials possess magnetic dipole moment, okay, similar to electrical dipole moment. You studied about polar and non-polar materials. Here also there will be some relevance. Okay, now see, the magnetic properties of magnetic material is represented in terms of magnetization. M. It is denoted as capital M. See, his number of M's are here. Small m is a magnetic dipole moment, whereas capital M is a magnetization. Okay. Now see, the magnetization denoted as, see, the dipole moment or total dipole moment per unit volume is called magnetization. That is M is equal to M net distance, okay, or M total. Okay, so this is the definition of the magnetization. Okay, now here when we talk of magnetic material, see, we have to study about the magnetic intensity, H, then okay. Now see, in the second lesson we derived the relation P, where is this E. P is the dipole moment and E is the electric field. Here also, see, we have to establish the relation between magnetic intensity H and magnetization M. So here, see, dipole moment unit is ampere meter square, there we have seen. So here we have to see the unit and dimension of magnetization. So magnetization M is, what is total dipole moment? That is ampere meter square. Okay, and volume is meter cube. That is ampere meter. E1 and L1, M0. Okay, as I told earlier, whenever we come across any new quantity, we have to see about unit and dimension. So here magnetization is M. That is a total dipole moment per unit volume is called the magnetization. It is capital M is M net or total. That is, say, as I told, a specimen is there, is possess some dipole moment. This dipole moment per unit volume is called magnetization. Okay, now next, see, we have to talk of magnetic intensity. Okay, next we have to talk of magnetic intensity. Now see, recall the formula of a very long solenoid. Okay, now we establish the relation between magnetic intensity and magnetization. That is the relation magnetic intensity H. Okay, now recall the magnetic field of a very long solenoid. See, for very long solenoid, see, when air is the medium, okay, then we write B is equal to mu 0 and I. Okay, now that is the formula which we have derived earlier, mu 0. Now here, this is a formula of the magnetic field. See, when current is passed through it. Okay. Now, initially air was the medium. Now next we place a material whose magnetic property we have to study. Let us say a specimen is placed like this. Okay. So what happened? Initially, when air was the medium, magnetic field of a solenoid was like this. Now, because of the property, magnetic property of this specimen, okay, because of the magnetic property of the specimen, see, a additional magnetic field is produced, Bm is produced. Okay. Now, see, these two will be in such a way they will add each other. So total magnetic field B is equal to B0 plus Bm. Okay. Now that is the additional magnetic field produced because of the presence of this. Now this Bm is given as mu 0 m. Okay. What is m? Magnetization. Okay. What was the formula here? Okay. B is equal to, formula was mu 0 h. Okay. Now B0. See, recall the formula. B0 is mu 0 n I. E is equal to mu 0 h. So h is equal to n I. See here, h is our intensity. H is nothing but our magnetic intensity. So here B is equal to mu 0 h plus mu 0 m. See, as I told here, h is called our magnetic intensity. Now both R will be in such a way they are helping each other. That means there will be summation of the two magnetic field. One is because of the solenoid and one is because of the magnetic property of the specimen which we have placed. So now B is equal to mu 0 is common here, h plus m. We can write B upon mu 0 is h plus m. So from this we obtain formula for the magnetic intensity. Suppose exam they ask up to here, then we have to stop here. We will prove up to here. So that is what is H is a magnetic intensity. Now capital M is a magnetization. Okay. So this is about the magnetic intensity of a material. Now see, we have to proceed further. See, our formula B is equal to mu 0 h plus m. Okay, that we are writing here. Now see, this magnetization experiment shows that magnetization is proportional to h. See, in our second lesson we had like this, P is proportional to E. What is P? Is a polarization. E is for electric field. Here see, the experiment shows that the magnetization of a material is proportional to h. So we put some constant here, chi h. Now is a Greek symbol, okay, that is called the magnetic susceptibility. See, magnetic susceptibility is a word has some meaning pertaining to or relative to. Here we are talking of the magnetic property, so that will be a constant representing the magnetic property of the material. Okay, that will be a constant, the magnetic property of the material. Now see our equation. B is equal to mu 0 h plus m. See, I am substituting the value here. So B is equal to mu 0 h plus m is chi h. Now what we can see here, h is common. Okay. Okay, h is equal to 1 plus chi. Now this mu 0 into 1 plus chi is mu. Okay, that is the formula we are obtaining. Okay, now B is equal to mu h. Earlier, see, when air was medium, we used to write B is equal to mu 0 h. But whenever there is a material placed inside the solenoid, then we have obtained mu h. See, the mu is called the relative permeability. Okay, mu is called the relative permeability, and mu is called the permeability. Now we write mu is equal to mu 0 into mu r. Okay, mu is equal to mu 0 and to mu r. Mu 0 is a magnetic permeability of the vacuum. Mu r is called the relative permeability. So see, our equation will become mu 0 mu r h. Okay, now that is also important equation. Now see, sometimes we have mu upon mu 0 is mu r is 1 plus chi. Okay, now see, this also has resemblance. See, E upon E0 we call K. That is a dielectric constant that we used to write. Some of the book it is mentioned E upon E0 is Ke. Okay, so here mu upon mu 0 is mu r. That is Km also. Okay, sometimes they write Km. So this is B is equal to mu 0 mu r h. Okay, so whenever any material is placed inside the solenoid, see, some additional magnetic field will be produced. Earlier, only air was the medium, so we had equation B is equal to B0 was mu 0 h. But because of the magnetic property of the material, now the equation B is equal to mu r into h. So this is about the magnetic intensity h and the magnetization m, and we have established the relation, okay, between magnetic property, and sometimes we write also B is equal to mu 0, okay, mu r mu 0 1 plus chi h mu 0 into mu r, okay, into or mu 0 1 plus chi. Okay, so this is about the magnetic property of the materials. Now this is important question. She can be asked in a theory in 2 months question. See, next time we'll proceed further.